Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to my channel. It's Mama Manifests. All right, so just a couple things, housekeeping things before we start. I have emailed everyone who did inquire for personal readings, and I did have to cancel just due to some personal stuff that energetically I just needed to detach from everything so I could do my own healing, right? We just came out of this Leo season that no matter how the circumstances manifested for you, it was illuminating. It was illuminating in the context of ourselves, right? A lot of us were triggered, right, in various ways of fears manifesting and being able to face those and gain strength from that. And just a lot of really not fun circumstances. But anyway, anybody with the personal readings, I am so sorry from the bottom of my heart. You know, I love reading, and I have to be honest with myself and authentic. And if I try to put my energy into those readings while I'm in that mental space, I'm not going to be able to give you nearly what I would normally be able to give you. And I just want to be able to give you guys, you know, everything that you need to hear from the divine. I want to give you the most value. And so if you were one of those people who I did have to cancel with, in the next couple days, email me and I will give you $10 off your reading for the inconvenience. Okay. So, and I love you guys. And again, you know, it's just, I had to take care of myself. I had to put my own oxygen mask on in the ways that I knew how, because we're always learning. All of us are learning and we're always growing. And I'm just feeling called tonight to get on and to do a message for everyone, for all of us, and how we can move forward. The energy definitely shifted as soon as we hit Virgo season today. You know, that last degree of Leo was just so intense and, you know, in probably different ways for all of us. But yeah, I wanted to see what the message is tonight and how we can move forward, right? How we can move forward and, you know, get everything, like, you know, stay on our path and, you know, go toward what we want to, live that intentional life, live that purposeful life, and not settling, right? In any way, shape, or form, knowing who we are, being confident, knowing our own worth, knowing what we bring to the table, etc. So, yeah, I don't know exactly where this message is going to go. I think I say that a lot. You know, I just start feeling called to do these messages anyway. Let's cut this and let's see what's going on. Yeah, so I think we're all coming into this place where we realize that we all have some emotional growth to do, okay? We all have some emotional growth to do, but we're ready, even if we're not there yet. Whatever circumstances manifested over the last couple of months, whatever changes have taken place, right? When those changes happen, we as human beings, we feel like we need to go into survival mode, right? And in that place, a lot of the times we start pointing the finger outward, not realizing and forgetting that every single one of our experiences that we have in this life is a mirror of ourselves that can be quote unquote good or quote unquote bad. But the quote unquote bad reflections of us are parts of us that need to be healed. And so even from that place of intellectually understanding that, we can make the end goal and the target this, the Page of Cups. A new outlook on love itself, a new outlook on life itself. Wanting to forgive, wanting compassion, wanting empathy, wanting understanding. A lot of things may have manifested over Leo season that brought anger, sadness, depression, jealousy, all of those not so great feeling emotions to the surface in each and every one of us. But by us acknowledging those feelings, we learn more about ourselves. We learn more about life. We become lighter. Yeah, this is where, this is the Ten of Pentacles, you guys. And this is what's crossing the situation. So I just feel like the changes that have happened have been with family or with friends or with close relationships. This is the stability in our life. I feel like for the collective message, we've all kind of had our stability in a questionable space, which has caused these feelings of wanting to blame others or point the finger outward. Okay? Which totally makes sense. I think that's a pretty normal response for a human being, but there is a better way. We're evolving, we're growing, we're learning. We're in the age of information and we're learning new things. And one of those things that we're learning is that we can all take responsibility for ourselves and our actions and see and choose to focus on the similarities rather than the differences in each other. Okay? But yeah, that feeling of things crumbling, stable situations falling apart, and this could be in a variety of ways, right? Jobs, relationships. I think I covered some of it. I just want to make that like really clear. Yeah, this is at the foundation of everything. And for me, what I'm really getting off of this Justice card in reverse is the scales haven't been balanced. We've been living in a society that's very unbalanced, okay? It is the masculine and feminine energy, whatever way you want to put it. Our emotions, the emotional side of us, the sensitivity of being a human being hasn't really been acknowledged. And I don't think that we've ever really been in a place where we understand that we all have emotions, right? And that's actually that's the guidance system in life, are the emotions, right? Like the masculine energy is the doer, it's the go-getter, it's the thing that keeps us going. It's the thing that picks us back up after we fall. But the feminine energy is the creative energy, it's the intuitive energy, it's the emotional energy, it's the guidance system. It leads the way so the masculine energy can then put all of the action put it all into action, put all the ideas into action. And so when this is unbalanced, it creates it just creates an unbalanced life for us all. And so it's become clear to me, and I share with you, that we all need to really look inside of our emotional bodies. Stop. We have to take the time out to grieve, to go through the grieving process. If something happens to shake up our entire foundation, instead of coming up and fighting or running away from it completely, we have this other option to embrace it. And I think that we've lived in a society that hasn't really acknowledged the fact that we need to embrace this aspect of ourselves. And that's kind of how we got into this situation in the first place, right? We need both. One is not better than the other. It's about balance. It's about balance of that masculine energy. It's honoring the masculine. It's honoring the feminine. It's not saying that one is more important than the other. It's honoring both, right? And I think a lot of the times, especially if these are intimate relationships that get the shake up and shake up our stability, we can want to blame, the opposing energy, right? Instead of learning from it. And this is something that's true for me too, and that's why I'm speaking about it. Okay? Yeah. See, that's what I was talking about. Like, this is the epitome of the darker side of Leo season. Okay? There's beautiful aspects to every sign and every season, but there's a light and a dark, right? And because we felt like our security and our foundation has been kind of torn from underneath us, it's caused the ego to rise to the surface and brought out aspects of ourselves that needed to heal, situations in our life that we needed to see in order to gain perspective and then ultimately heal from. But first, of course, this type of energy is going to come about. If we don't know how to handle our emotions, our sadness moves into anger, which is that secondary emotion. And the anger is what comes out. And that's what I'm really feeling off of this card. You know, a lot of anger, a lot of fighting, but it is coming out in reverse. And I feel like a lot of us have just decided to do whatever we need to do to make sure that we're not a part of this, right? And that's like a lot of the guidance coming in. It's like, if this doesn't make you feel good, then don't be a part of it anymore. Nobody said that you have to, right? We can step away at any time, but then we feel these obligations, or we worry about the judgment of others, or whatever comes to the surface because of these moments, you know, or the reason of why we don't want to deal with them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You know, and that's something that's much easier said than done. And that's a definite learning experience, right? We get humbled, you know, and then we just kind of realize it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And it's from that place that you find empowerment, right? We find empowerment from not caring what anybody else thinks. It is literally a burden if we are worried about what other people's opinions are. It burdens us, and then we make decisions against our, you know, our better judgment, or what our heart is telling us, or what we truly want to do, because we're afraid of what other people think, which is like, if you really think about that, and that's what I'm going to say, I'm going to encourage you to really think about that thought and see where it takes you, because it's an illusion, okay? I love this. So crowning the reading, we're all kind of finding out we're a little bit more resourceful, right? We're deciding to understand higher levels of knowledge, right? And understand alchemy, and understand every single element and the importance of mastering all of them to become a balanced individual. And then once you're balanced, you can take on this magician energy and kind of create your life however you want it, right? That's what we're learning on this journey. Life actually, you know, it is circumstance if you live in that attitude, like in that place. But then once you really realize that you can take off of this baggage, or, you know, that we've been living with our entire lives, we can have a different perspective, we can heal. And then after that place of balancing and healing, we can turn into the magician and create our lives however we want them. There is nothing too much to ask for in this lifetime. Whatever your heart desires, your heart and your experience can create. We have the ability to create whatever life we want. And find that fulfillment and feel empowered. The magician has the world at his fingertips, because he knows the power, and he has balanced out these 4 very important aspects of each and every human being. We have the 3 of Wands, you know? And this is all about like what I was just talking about, right? The 3 of Wands is about what we bring into our lives. The 3 of Wands is waiting for the results of what we've planted, the seeds of what we planted. We know things are coming in now. It did want to come out reversed. And so with that being said, what we think about, what we focus on, what we tolerate, what our thoughts are, is what we manifest into our reality. Okay? And that could be quote unquote good or quote unquote bad. And I think we're really realizing that like what we think about and how we treat other people and everything is really what comes back to us. Yeah, we're all kind of feeling, and I know I see you guys as a viewer right now. You know, it's very polarizing energy coming through in this reading. And it's that place of where you know what you're working for and you're really excited about the path ahead, and but it feels very, very difficult right now, right? It's like no passion, right? Because going through this energy and getting triggered and, you know, having the foundation rocked and everything being unbalanced, and that's how it has to be before it comes into balance. Sorry, you guys, I keep getting distracted. My dog is scratching himself and I can hear his chain going ding, 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 ding. And so it just keeps breaking my focus. But anyway, yeah, I think this is understandable feeling this way right now. Like I think we talked about I think my last reading, we talked about there was three different separate storm cards that came out. And it really did feel like three separate storms for me personally. I could like look through and isolate each situation and be like, oh, there's the three big storms. And I think it's normal to not feel a lot of energy and not feel a lot of passion right now. So if you are in that space, that's completely normal. That's where I was at. That's how I opened up this reading, was saying I literally physically couldn't do the readings, right? And it's because we've just been through so much has come to our attention, right? That we need to look within ourselves and adjust. And it's a transition period, right? We don't need to completely go all the time. That would be an ideology, I guess. Ideology? I don't know. That would be, you know, the toxic masculine, right? Because there's the toxic masculine and then there's the divine masculine and then there's the toxic feminine and then there's the divine feminine, right? It's great to have that endurance. It's great to be able to keep going. But when the time is needed, when we're triggered, when there's been a lot that's happened, it is wise to take time out, right? Because if we don't, then the energy gets all crazy, and then we start attracting in more circumstances of stress, and then it's a never-ending cycle, and then we lose our footing and we completely can fall off the path. We can. If we don't do that, if we don't take the time to nurture ourselves. Okay? So, yeah. But there is new passionate passionate energy on the other side of this. You're going to have a renewed sense of passion, direction. You're going to feel like spirit is within you. You're going to have a higher level of wisdom. This is the process of gaining wisdom right here. This is how it happens. Okay? We have to go through situations that mirror things, you know, that need to be healed in us. Then we take a look, right? And it gets easier each time. We don't stop taking it less. We take it less personally. We keep moving forward. We realize this is actually empowering. And then we think, you know, the situations that, you know, weren't as pleasant, because truly they prompted growth within us, which prompted fulfillment within us, purpose and freedom. So that's where the forgiveness and the compassion comes in, right? Okay. Yeah. I mean, the Queen of Cups, I think, again, when we've been going through so much tough energy, I think it's normal to feel very imbalanced emotionally, turning off the heart, temporarily, not being connected with intuition, feeling like you're completely like, it's like, oh, wow, everything was so magical. And then being kicked off, like, and feeling no connection to the divine, and literally questioning, like, is the spiritual path even real? Like, what am I doing? Am I losing my mind? That's what awakening looks like. Am I losing my mind? That's a common question. Not just asked once by yourself to yourself, right? Okay. Yeah, this is like, this is hopes and fears. And, there's new on the other side. There's stability on the other side of this, right? There's an opportunity after the storm has come in, or after the tower has come in, to now build something on a more solid foundation. Because whenever the storm comes in, and if you think about it in real life, whenever the storm comes in and it breaks down the houses, well, they weren't built on integrity by definition, right? They didn't have what it took to withstand that storm. And so it's beautiful that we now have an opportunity to build new. And so with building new, of course, it's change. And so of course there's going to be fear of building new, because change is an uncomfortable process. It just is. It just is. That's why I think a lot of us avoid this path, because it's difficult. I would not say it's an easy thing, but it is the challenge of life. It is the reason for life, and you will find the most fulfillment that you have ever found. Connectedness, love, peace, harmony, purpose, direction, understanding the connectedness of life. Okay? Let's just build the new. Let's just take the time and the effort to build the new. Right? It's okay. It's okay. It's humbling. It's very humbling. But once we move past that place and we realize there's nothing else to do but build new right now, once we come to the place of acceptance of that, we're free. And then the building process becomes easy. Right? Because there's not a lot of resistance on it. Right? There's flow. Right? Okay. Yeah. The divine wants us to focus our energy on our own anger. Really start asking ourselves the question of, why was I triggered? Instead of, why is this happening to me? What can I learn from this? Those two sentences have a completely different vibration and will bring in, Three of Wands here, completely different results. Okay? This card is definitely calling us, even if our anger, this is definitely coming up. There's quote unquote justified anger, where if you were to take a public survey of, should I be angry about this and do I have a justification to be angry, you would probably get a very high result of answers of yes. Justified anger, quote unquote. But we have to really realize that when we hold on to this anger, it is a poison to our lives, because that anger turns into judgment and resentment and all these other low vibrational feelings, okay? And it poisons our lives because we're all connected through the fabric of existence. And when we place our anger at another, instead of compassion, empathy, and understanding, we're actually wounding a part of ourselves. And that's how we get in situations like the Three of Wands reverse. If we never healed and understood why we went through the situations we went through, we will keep attracting the same exact situation into our life. That's how the universe works. How many times do you want to take to learn that lesson? Right? And that's the question we need to ask ourselves. Now, There are some guys, like they're called the Honest Guys. Amazing meditation page on YouTube. Highly recommend to follow. But if you type in Honest Guys anger meditation, it is one of my absolute favorite meditations to really get the anger out. Okay. I'll link it in the description box below, that particular meditation. It is fabulous, amazing. And I've had some serious breakthrough moments with it. And so this is really a call. Even if the other person, the other people did something to you, right? Even though nothing is personal, we have to ask ourselves, well, why did this affect me so much? Right? What can I learn from this? And then we can build the new, right? Let's get a couple more messages with the oracle cards. Oh, shout out to Aunt Mary again with the candles, but she got me these 2 decks. She got me this Rider-Waite, which I've never had one, and I'm so excited because I kind of feel like that's the OG of tarot. I mean, I know that there were decks before that, but there's something special about this deck. Also, this is the Divine Feminine, and I'm going to pull one of these after I pull a Work Your Light. And we'll get into it. Absolutely beautiful energy. See, here's the thing, you guys. If you're attracted to me, you like my channel and my energy. You see me and yourself, right? You see it's I'm reflecting to you parts of yourself, and that's actually what's happening, because each experience we have is a reflection of ourself, the good and the bad. So whatever we truly do see in others is an aspect of ourself, whether it quote unquote good, quote unquote bad, right? Anyway, why did that come out? Oh yeah, so, and I really I was somebody who, my feminine, both energies were really unbalanced within me. But with my masculine energy, that's what I presented to the world because I was so hurt, I carried so much pain within me. So I presented this toxic masculine energy. So the biggest aspect of me that I really needed to heal was my wounded feminine. And so that's, I think, why I talk about that. And I have this deck. So whether you're male or female, I talk about this a lot. We have both within us, and both need to be balanced out and taken care of. Oh my gosh. Well, this card cracks me up whenever it comes out. It just says yes. Just say yes. Just say yes to this information that I'm giving you. Right? I know when we're in the Ace of Wands reversed and Queen of Cups reversed and Knight of Wands reversed and 3 of Wands reversed, and we're just getting out of some 5 of Swords energy, it's just really, really difficult. It's a process, and we get up faster each time, and we learn new things each time. But just say yes to yourself. Just say yes to the spiritual path. Just say yes to surrender, to learning new things, to allowing yourself to go through whatever it takes to connect yourself to that other side of why you started this journey in the first place. Also, if somebody asks you to do something that, I don't know, being in this energy, I can see you wouldn't want to say yes. You want to say no, because you wouldn't want to be around people when you're in this energy. Understandable. It's isolating energy. But there is going to be, something that happens, and just say yes to it, right? Just say yes to it. Any more messages from the Work Your Light Oracle Spirit? Any more? Okay. Ooh, I love the energy of this card. I often see this card come out right after a lot of change, right? And it's just a reminder from Spirit and from the divine that your guidance is divinely guided, right? Like maybe there's a part of you, right, that's not accepting this information into your consciousness. I mean, if you're listening and you're still listening, it's going in your consciousness, whether your ego is accepting of it right now or not. But trust yourself. Trust the situations that have been happening around you. If you've been seeing numbers, look them up, right? They all correlate to different things. One's new beginnings. 2, balance, sometimes choices. 3, for me, it's always when the magic is happening. There's magical things in the air. 4, that's about your structure, your foundation, your stability. 5, change, challenge. 6, balance and harmony. One of my favorite numbers. 7, seeking new information, having that open mind. 8, knowing that you are an infinite soul living a human experience, right? Understanding that on such a deep level, understanding the infinite power within you and the infinity of your existence itself, you know. And 9s are, we're getting there, their completion is getting close to happening. There's a couple loose ends that need to be tied up. And 10, the completion, the end. Okay. And yeah, so there's a lot of messages coming to you right now. And just trust that your guidance is divinely guided. This is what the path looks like. Sometimes it's gray and black and white and we can't see anything, and food doesn't taste as good and our experience isn't as fun and we can't enjoy the things that we normally enjoy. And then other times it's an enchanting experience. Life is filled with color, beauty, right? You're being taken somewhere absolutely beautiful. And you know that, right? And you know that. You know that deep within you. Follow that voice. Put a little bit of a silence to the voice that doesn't make you feel good when you have the thoughts. How do we realize what's a high vibrational thought or a low vibrational thought? Well, it's an experience that we need to have. Start really ask yourself what you're thinking about when you're not feeling great, right? And that is your internal guidance system. That energy that I was talking about when we first opened up this reading is we believe in this. I mean, there is a room in life for sacrifice, and that is something that needs to be happen, but we don't have to sacrifice ourselves and our happiness and our fulfillment for anything. Okay? That is an illusion. That is what we have been taught. That is not what is real. We're learning new things, right? We're learning new things. And one of those things, again, that we're learning is that we can really follow what makes us feel good, and we really don't have to stick around for things that don't, right? Energies that don't. And we can disconnect or do whatever we need to do with compassion and love, and we can grow and we can lead by example, right? What other messages, Spirit? What other messages do we have to close out this beautiful reading? Come on. Please, pretty please. Okay, thank you. Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exalted Light, I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. Now, these are newer cards to me, and I'm getting to know them. But this is all about bringing to me, it's understanding the power of your light, right? Understanding that the light is so much stronger than the dark. The light requires patience, discipline, understanding our own values, living in authenticity, following what makes us feel good, having a balanced system within us. and trusting that following the light is going to lead the way to where you're going, and spreading it to other. And understanding that there is truly no lack in this universe. Lack is also an illusion. Even if our light is met with resistance, we do not put out our light. That is understanding trust within ourselves and authenticity itself. I'm going to read. I'm getting to know these cards. I absolutely love them. All right. Saint Bridget represents the elevated state of knowing that we have everything we could ever need. Bridget was born in Ireland in 453, the daughter of an enslaved Pict woman named Braca. Bridget's name comes from the Celtic Briganti, meaning high or exalted. It is said that the moment the king witnessed Bridget's generosity, he knew that she was holy and set her free. Bridget shares the name of the Celtic goddess Bridget and took on many of the same attributes. St. Bridget's feast day is symbolic. The first is on, oh my gosh, guys, I'm just absolutely, is Imbolc, on Imbolc, the first day of February, which is the day that the goddess Bridget is honored. Around 480, St. Bridget founded a monastery at Kildare on the site of a shrine to the goddess Bridget. There were priestesses who tended to the goddess's eternal flame and received spiritual instruction in honoring the goddess. Saint Bridget is credited with organizing a communal and consecrated form of religious life for women on the same sacred ground. Tradition says that Saint Bridget died on Imbolc in 525. She had a female companion named Dar Lugdoc, who became her successor as the abbess of Kildare. Oh my goodness. Dar Lugdoc also died in Imbolc a year later, which St. Bridget had predicted. The abbey at Kildare that St. Bridget founded became the center of religion and learning and developed into a cathedral city. It remains famous and revered today. St. Bridget lived in alignment with the highest, most exalted aspect of her being. She was born a slave, and yet legend relates that she gave away anything she possibly could to those to help those in need. Bringing your generosity, not letting this world taint you, not letting this world and your experiences taint that pure heart of yours, right? Encountering really low level energy, but choosing yourself and forgiveness and love instead. Okay? Her generosity was an indication of the tremendous inner wealth she received from the connection to spirit. Her message to us is to reconnect to that inner fire, that eternal flame that feeds us more than anything external to us ever could. Read poetry or whatever feels like sacred scripture to your soul. Let your soul voice surface through some uncensored automatic writing, or let your soul guide your body through movement. Your answers right now are in releasing any attachments to personal possessions, clearing space, uncluttering your home. Here's Virgo season coming in. Giving away what you don't need or someone needs more than you do, so that you have the sacred space to remember just how much you have when your soul is loud and ever present with you. Soul voice meditation. So this is the question we can ask ourselves. What can I clear out of my space that no longer resonates with me? And the intention, I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need, right? So she was able to give and give and give and give and give because she had connection to the spirit, to the source of all that is. And so from that place, there's an abundance of resources that she knows that she will never go without. So giving away to another truly just empowered her light, empowered her vision, right? It is in giving that we receive, right? Giving of ourselves. giving our love, giving our support, giving our time, giving our effort. That's the light, you guys. That's the light. I love you all so much. I'll see you soon. Namaste and God bless.